Hello, and welcome to technically a new season of Sydney's On The Clock. I am your host, Sydney Couye, also known as the sports journalist. And next to me, I have somebody that you should all definitely be familiar with at this time. But if you need a little recollection, I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey everyone, I am Christopher Dillon Williams, a promising future pregame reporter and podcast interviewer, and I'm the co-host on Sydney's On The Clock.
So we are back at 10655 Coursey Boulevard, like always. And Chris, how does it feel to be back in the studio? Because honestly, it's just so great walking in here, seeing the lights, how it was set up again, hearing the intro song. It just felt like a coming home reunion.
Man, it's a blessing. Took a little hiatus, but it's good to be back.
So now that we are back, what's some of the things that you've been having going on since, honestly, the 2 months that we haven't been on air?
So basically just, school and internships and things like that. So just getting them in before, I graduate in spring 25. So basically that's what I've been doing.
So just trying to get your life together to get everything, set up for the future?
Yeah.
See, I'm on the same type of time, basically, trying to get life together, make sure filling out internships, because some things that people don't know is that we're both definitely still in college.
Yeah.
But it's a blessing to be here, working with Pelican Broadcasting with Sydney's On The Clock. So let's get straight into it.
Yeah.
So the NBA All-Star Game just took place the past 2 weeks, and this was the first time since 2017 that they went back to the original team standings of the East versus West Conference. What are your takes, and do you have any opinions of what's been going on? Because it's been definitely controversial about the NBA All-Star Game and what fans and what people want to see moving forward.
I do feel as though, I did watch the dunk contest, and I was really impressed with McClung from Georgetown. But going into the full game, I'm not really impressed because it's not competitive to me.
Right.
I know it's a playful game, but look at the Pro Bowl. Yes, it's flag football, but it's competitive. I don't want to see anything that's lopsided.
Right. Me personally, I honestly feel as if the players take the All-Star Game as a joke.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to continue to be that way unless the league decides to implement new changes.
Yep.
So you have a group of the most talented players, front court, back court, no matter, in every position from the Eastern and the Western Conference. But a lot of them are scared of getting hurt. They don't want to actually put their all in a game, because if we go back to whenever this was Kobe's time, back in the early 2000s, players were actually playing because they wanted to make sure that the world knew who was the best on the court. However, I genuinely feel as if the whole layout needs to be changed. There needs to be some incentives. For instance, what if whoever wins, East or West Coast, or the East Conference versus the Western Conference, they get a home court or a home team advantage when it comes to the finals?
Yep.
Or even change it. It doesn't even have to be a full-blown basketball game. It could be a 3 versus 3. We can actually see a lot of players utilizing their skills, or even a financial incentive. There just needs to be something in place to where the players want to go out and want to go all in. Take, for instance, the in-season tournament.
Yeah.
That was the very first time that the NBA has actually implemented the in-season tournament. And of course, a lot of the players, whenever it was first announced, they were very, hesitant on just playing in it because they want to know how is this going to affect the regular season. However, once it came out that there was a $500,000 incentive, we saw the Lakers play the way the Lakers haven't been playing all season.
No.
We thought the Lakers were definitely going to, at least going into the later half of the NBA season, that they were going to be show out stellars, because that just literally Tyrese Halliburton from the Pacers turned into an all-star due to the in-season tournament. So what else besides incentives do you think needs to be changed for people and fans and players alike can enjoy the game going forward?
So for instance, my thoughts, it can be half court shots, right? It can be 4-pointers.
So you want the league to change something to where instead of the normal 3-point line, they'll integrate the 4-point line.
Yeah, make it interesting.
That's different. That's something we can get into. But I think that's one of the things I was really happy to see was the 3-point conference, or the 3-point competition against Sabrina Ionescu and Stephen Curry. That was great to see. However, that is not all that we will be talking about. Please stay tuned to the next segment. This has been Christopher Williams and Sydney's Coulier with Sydney's On The Clock.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
And we are back with Sydney's On The Clock. So Chris and I just had a full-blown discussion about what took place during the NBA's All-Star Game. However, staying on the NBA's topics, who do you think early on, well, not necessarily early on because we're in the middle of the season, but who is your pick for this year's most valuable player?
Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic.
Why did I just know you were going to say that? Okay, prove your point, because I definitely don't agree, but keep going.
Just going back to previous seasons, right? 2021 MVP, 2022 MVP, NBA champion with, what's the guy's name? The guy from Kentucky, basically. But I just feel like he has never regressed, and he's not even 30 yet.
Which is true.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to take a deep sigh before I get into what I genuinely want to say. Personally speaking, don't get me wrong, Nikola Jokic will forever be one of the greatest basketball players in this current time.
Yeah.
Amazing, especially what he can do, pulling up, working in the paint.
Assists.
Especially have his, oh my gosh, yes, his assist game. And the fact that he doesn't necessarily have an outside game, but as soon as he gets and past the 3-point line, he could utilize and do absolutely anything. And some of the stuff we've never even seen before, especially of a man of his build. However, me personally, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander
OKC,
will and forever should be this year's MVP. But you have to hear me out, okay? When you have teams like the Denver Nuggets, you have an experienced team full of all-stars. You have a team who recently just won the championship. So it is expected for them to win. It is expected for them to progress in the way they continues to do. However, the Oklahoma City Thunder, completely young team. Shea is working with a team of 21, 22, maybe 23-year-olds. None of them don't have any real basketball experience. And the fact that they're currently number 2 in the Western Conference, and he is continuously putting them in a position to where whenever they first hit the scene, we were all surprised. We were like, wow, this is a team nobody was expecting to be this great this soon. And so when you have somebody like Shea, one of, to me, in my opinion, one of the true point guards that we see in this league right now. Because it's hard. I think he's one of the true point guards. You could argue me on that on another time. However, you literally have, he's the top 5 player. Not to mention, he has the highest field goal percentage out of anybody in the league. Not to mention his assists. His assists almost, to me, hear me out. His assists, to me, are something that Joker can do. The way he sets up the ball and the plays for the rest of his team. I think that Shea is deserving, because here's the thing. He was very underrated going into the past 2 seasons. He was a player who we already knew slowly was going to just turn into and develop more and more into the star that he is today. I think he's deserving of it. Point blank, period.
But I also think for Nikola Jokic, it's his basketball IQ too.
Which is true.
Yeah.
But again, he is a veteran. You expect this from a veteran. If we see OKC get, or at least have a couple playoff appearances, especially for them being the team they are, especially with all the drama that they had preseason, that is amazing. That is insane. That is almost unheard of. The last time we have seen somebody, especially when OKC lead a team like this, that was Kevin Durant. And in that season, he won an MVP himself. So why not give it to Shea?
Why not? Shit. But I mean, at the same time, you see the Suns as well. You know, they're building, right?
Yes.
Devin Booker, Kevin Durant.
Yes. But what does that have to do with MVP specifically? Don't get me wrong. The Suns have a contingency if they continue to play at the rate they do. But I wholeheartedly feel like, do I think they'll win the championships? No. I don't think OKC will win, but do I think they'll definitely go far, especially in terms, definitely probably even make a Western Conference final? I do believe so. But since we're still on the topic of basketball, salaries and what's going on in the NBA today with the salary cap. Jaylen Brown, currently with the Celtics, going into this next season will have projected the biggest sport, or at least these biggest sports, is in not sports contract, but basketball contract that we have seen in modern day basketball, which is he will be making a good about $52 million a year. So do you think that basketball, because unlike baseball doesn't have a salary cap, and we've seen that with the $700 million 10-year contract Shohei Ohtani has signed with the Dodgers. Do you think that basketball should have a salary cap? Because again, we are seeing these players just get absolutely insane contracts. Even coaches. Steve Kerr with the Golden State Warriors just signed the biggest coaching contract we've ever seen. So what is your take on the opinions on that?
I feel like it depends on like the production they put out. So look at Coach Kerr. You know, he won some championships with the Bulls, but as a coach, he won about 4 championships with the Warriors. Right. But he's well-deserved of that, but some players are not. Look at Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons hasn't played in a while, and he's been on the bench. So a lot of players, I feel like LeBron, Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, those players who actually put their bodies on the line and they actually put production out there, game in and game out, no matter what's the cost is, champion, playoffs, whatever, they're deserving of that money.
So since you say that, let's get into it. You mentioned LeBron James. LeBron James is currently almost at the end of his contract. And he and his amazing manager, one of the biggest personally, one of my role models in sports, which is Rich Paul, are currently negotiating a new contract for him to be making a good $42.2 million a year. However, when you see what's going on with the Lakers, do you think somebody who has the amount of money like LeBron, who is currently a billionaire, should take a pay cut so the rest of his team can get better?
I do think so. Because, I mean, you're making $1 billion. You have a lot of money already. I feel like it needs to go somewhere in the draft or go to Austin Reeves, you know. He is an upcoming star. Give some money to him.
And you think overall that would just improve the Lakers and just other teams we've seen, like for instance, who has a big salary cap right now, or who has a gigantic salary, or at the Celtics. But actually, we will get back to that on this next segment. know. I was trying to.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
The winning play is the Buy Here, Sell Here event at the Team Automotive Group. Buy here and save on hundreds of certified and pre-owned vehicles. Or sell here and we'll pay you top value. Buy here or sell here and you'll be the winner at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
And we are back with Sydney's On The Clock. So we were just talking during commercial break.
Yep.
And Chris Ball, I said Chris Ball. Look what I'm talking
Chris
about.
Ball, yep.
Chris is a football stand through and through. That's his sport. That's what he loves to talk about. And so I know he's extremely happy as we go into this next segment. HBCU Legacy Bowl just took place at Yeoman Stadium, which is also Tulane University in New Orleans, Louisiana, this past weekend. We saw Team Gaither, excuse me. Team Gaither and Team Robinson play against each other, which is technically, if you don't know what HBCU Legacy Bowl is, it is a mixture of player or NFL eligible players from HBCUs to shine a light on all the talent that goes on during HBCUs. Always broadcasted on the NFL Network always have during the halftime show one of the SWAC schools come Jackson State. It was this year, you know. We're a human jukebox family through and through. We'll stay in it. But what was your opinions and what was your take on HBCU Legacy Bowl? Because overall, I think it was actually a pretty decent game.
I feel like, well, congratulations, Arion Hayes from Alabama A&M, 4 sacks. That was for Team Robinson as well. But I feel like the game was okay on the defensive side. Ty for Southern University, he is a defensive back as well, and Jordan Carter. They made a couple big plays, had an interception opportunity. Both of them had interception opportunities as well. But really, I want to shine the light on Davius Richard from North Carolina Central. And he was the offensive player of the game. He had a few good reads, few good passes, but he got injured on the touchdown. And I feel like he has the highest level of reaching to the NFL, because look at some of these teams like the Broncos. They don't have a quarterback. The Bucks don't have a quarterback. He has it, Sid. But seeing him go down and get injured, I was hurt for the guy. But at the same time, he was used by God for a purpose. About faith. If he can get through this situation and bounce back, he's going to be okay.
Which I wholeheartedly feel that he will.
Yeah.
However, I think a lot of people don't realize just how much the HBCU Legacy Bowl really does do for athletes. For instance, you've had people from HBCUs that are definitely playing for major teams right now. For instance, from Southern University. You have
Jatari Carter from Chicago Bears. Yeah.
My point exactly, who's doing an amazing job on defense there. And then specifically from Legacy Bowl, one of the players that actually was a standout last year, you have Xavier Smith, who currently plays for the LA Rams. He, I believe, won Offensive Player of the Year last year. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But it just goes to show you that initiatives like this are needed in the community, because I feel like a lot of the time HBCUs often go overlooked with the amount of talent, especially during this day and age of NIL. Teams, or not even necessarily teams, but players want to go to where they make the most money. We completely understand that, especially because your body is your temple. Your body is your moneymaker. That's literally how you make a living. And God forbid something happens. Forbid something happens. In the past, we've seen number 1, number 2 projected in any sport get her injured, and they can't do anything post that, generally because there was no NIL. So we understand why players go to big teams with these big valuations. However, HBCUs, due to the underfunding of them, you have these players. You have these players who are consistent, who are showing out, who are stand out, who want to play, who want to give for that next level, which is why I think it is so important and so imperative that you have games like the HBCU Legacy Bowl. Yeah,
and it also shines a light on their talent as well. It doesn't matter if you go to small PWI, small SWAC school. If you have that God-given talent that God has given you, then use it.
So. We've seen how also with HBCU Legacy Bowl, there has definitely been a couple of times where they've changed coaches from the recent years. Last year, Eric Dooley, who's no longer with Southern University, was one of the coaches. And you continue.
He's now going to, they're getting the deal ready. I was reading today, they're getting the deal ready to go to Grambling State University, because, like in 2016, he was with, what's that quarterback? Well, it was Kincaid, Devontae Kincaid. He was there. And I just wish the best for him.
But there is so much more as we come back with Sydney's On The Clock.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats, the flavor says it all.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
And we are back with Sydney's On The Clock. So during commercial break, Chris and I had a little chit chat about what we want to talk about. However, he mentioned, or at least brought to my attention, again, what's going on or what had happened with Cam Newton. What's going on with Cam Newton, and why is it that our community consistently has to bring down somebody who is lifting the communities in itself? Like, why is this ever constant cycle?
Well, let me touch about the community part. I feel like it's because of jealousy. You see another brother or sister doing well, and they're doing well for themselves, making money, making moves, helping their community. You can see with Javante Davis, Tank Davis, he had a building, right, for underprivileged people.
And how it got completely burned
down. So it's just like, because of the hate and insecurity of our people, we're not able to...
Don't agree, but keep going. Just have to put that out there. I do not agree.
Okay, but we're not able to advance ourselves. We're not even clapping for each other when we do something successful. And it's taking us back. Like, you can see Malcolm X. He was trying to, with the Nation of Islam, help for change, you know? So I'm just giving a little thought, sis.
No, I'm listening.
Yeah. So it's just like, whenever a person of color or just a person wants to make change, the whole community has to come together. So,
however, I do like that there are a lot of athletes, especially top athletes in this world, that are continually giving back. But since you did touch on Tank real quick, we will touch on the fact that, are you excited for the Garcia versus Haney fight? Because that is one of the fights I've definitely been looking forward to. At least me personally, I definitely wanted to see Shakur Stevenson and Haney fight, and Devin Haney go toe-to-toe in 135. Me personally, I'm a big boxing fan. Are you?
I am.
Okay, what was probably one of your best fights or one of the biggest fights you remember growing up?
I'm gonna say Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather.
I vividly remember my dad taking me to the party. I think that was my first really, really big introduction, because I think I had to be in middle school. That was probably my biggest introduction to boxing. Sitting there and realizing, I'm like, oh, I actually really like this. And I think that was one of the things that really kind of gravitated me towards sports, because like I said, I really got into sports. Even though I played myself, I got into sports due to my father, because he is a referee. So being able to have those moments, it was kind of a full circle thing, especially now that this is what I do for my living. Like, this is what I want to do with my life, you know what I mean? But I can say, Chris, being back in the studio and being able to talk about all the things we love has definitely just been so great, because I know y'all have missed us, because I've missed us on here. I miss looking at this screen, looking at this camera every day. What's going on with you?
Man, I'm just blessed to be here. You know, it's been a hiatus, it's been a long time, but to finally be back in here, to finally see Sydney's on the clock again, you know?
I know that's right.
Yeah.
But what I can say too, going down today, even though it was our first show back, y'all have to give us a little leeway. Of course, it was the first show in a minute. However, this will not be the last show.
No,
Pelican Broadcasting here. You already know where to catch us. This has been Sydney Coulier,
Chris Williams,
with another great episode of Sydney's On The Clock.